how can I solve all my problems?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, all the problems can be solved if you see that all problems are caused by craving for which you are responsible. There's no problem if there's no suffering. Or rather, when there is a problem, means something is a problem because it's making you suffer.
So I'm sick, I got a headache.
Well, headache in itself, it's not a problem, nor is it a suffering. You not wanting it to be that way, and not wanting to have a headache, while having or not having a headache is not in your control, that's why you suffer. So you crave to get rid of the circumstances that you find displeasing. Which means you create a problem. That's what I mean. At the root of every suffering is craving. It's impossible to experience suffering without having the craving present in your experience as your attitude. It's impossible. That's why the Buddha said that the root of suffering is craving, not the external circumstances, however bad they might be.
So being in poverty.
Poverty is not suffering. Poverty is hardship, but hardship does not need to be suffering. If you don't, basically, again, on a fundamental level, if you want to describe the nature of craving, there's three types. When circumstances are pleasing, you're craving for more of that pleasure. If circumstances are displeasing, you're craving for that displeasure to disappear, to not be there. You want to get rid of it instantly. And the third type is the subtlest to see, but basically the circumstances are neither good nor bad. You kind of crave towards indolence and searching excitement or whatever. That people fear boredom. They fear the like a neutral environment which is neither good nor bad. They can't recognize it as peaceful. So in that very manner, a person is fully responsible for all of the suffering that he experienced in his life. Because there were even cases in the suttas that the Buddha was giving the example of, was even if a highway robbers attack you and sever you limb by limb and torture you, that basically won't be the suffering for you. It will be your craving in regard to it, your hatred towards them, trying to get rid of it, thinking, why are they doing this, they shouldn't be doing this. Basically trying to control the circumstances that are disagreeable, without recognizing that actually, fundamentally, they're not in your control. Hence you are responsible for lack of that knowledge, which then generates more craving, so you just keep revolving around it.
So it's also, instead of trying to solve every little issue that you have.
Exactly, yeah, that's when people don't see they don't see the root of suffering, so they think the suffering is the circumstances around them. So then they try to address every single instance, every example, every issue, every person to talk to, everything disagreeable put away. I mean, that's usually what people's lives revolve around.
That's endless.
Yeah, it's endless because it's misapplied. It's not applied where the problem is.
Which is craving.
Which is craving, yeah. So you're basically trying to solve your suffering by at a completely wrong place where the suffering isn't.